life with the Catholic. No.
Use that one. Okay, there we go. So sorry about that. Let me adjust the volume here so that I don't blow y'all's eardrums out. There we go. All right. So as you saw me demonstrating there, this game is ideal for making snapshots because you can tilt the camera any way you want. You can spin it, you can you can look at the sky if you like. Ooh. You can look through the trees. Many things you can do with this camera. This game was born for cameras. Oh, and in case you didn't see before, yes, it has a button specifically for hiding the interface so you can take nice screenshots, which that never would be. That might be, though. Ooh. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, actually, because that's nice looking. Print screen. And we'll open that in Paint later. Maybe. Honestly, though. But Children of the Nile. Children of the Nile. This is a game where you build cities in ancient Egypt, if you couldn't tell. Let's open up the interface so that I can get this thing working. Okay, so in this particular scenario, what is the objective? Okay, so this is the Second Intermediate Period, as it says. So this is between the Middle Kingdom and the New Kingdom. It's a period of strife and turmoil. It's the collapse of the Bronze Age society. Excuse me, I haven't had a drink yet, but I just might if this continues. Excuse me. Basically, what you're trying to do in this city is reestablish your trade circuits, because they've fallen apart thanks to the invasions of the Sea Peoples, whom you will also have to contend with. Right? Let's have a look at the map. Okay, there actually are no invaders yet that I can see. But... oh, good heavens. Forgive me, I've been needing to cough and other things. It's painful. My apologies. Anyway. Where was I? The other two cities in this part of the campaign... So the campaign map you can select from one of 3 cities. This is the one that I chose, because it seems more peaceful and the other ones seem like you'd be doing a lot of fighting and... what can I say? I'm a builder and a lover, not a fighter. But I probably am going to make an army here, because that might end up being useful later. But at the moment, you're just trying to reestablish your trade connections, but not even that at this time. I've just started a completely brand new city. And in this game, the only way to do that is by starting with your palace and allocating space for farmers to build their houses, as you can see here. Our gentleman has built himself a little shack to go in, where he can be a farmer, store his grain, and pound it out. Built a lot of rows of houses, and people are taking up their residences. They'll be able to do other things soon, I promise you. But first things first. Building up the new society. If you know nothing about ancient Egypt, I'll tell you this. Do you see this here? This little round area over here? This is the map. Where do you wish to go? Well, I don't care where you wish to go, because we're staying in what will become a glorious city. This is somewhere along the Nile River. The Nile River in Egypt. You've seen pictures of it. Big bulge at the top of Africa with, a plume of water coming off, and down, down, down comes this narrow strip of water through the Sahara Desert. Egyptian society is found only along that strip and in a few places where people build monuments out in the middle of nowhere. And the occasional oasis. This city, Asyut, is one of the cities located upon this refuge from the desert heat. And in an effort to make this an actual place where civilization can be found, rather than just somewhere for small huts like this to simply be found where people just get by foraging from the land, we try and build clusters of civilization. Now, where did that little village that I just started go? Oh, wait, yeah, there it is, on the other side of the river. To begin, you need to have nobles. What do you need nobles for? They provide rule of law. They provide direction. They tell your people what to grow. And that's how you become something more than a village. By having idiot people higher above you to complain about the fact that they're not getting what they want. Somebody's gotta do it. I mean, if I complain about my own life rather than worrying about getting other people's stuff that they need in order to live comfortably, I mean, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna starve to death because there's so much that I want and so much that I can't do. If someone tells me to do it, and I try and fail to do it a hell of a lot of times, I don't know where I'm going with that. I'm just kicking the breeze until I can get something happening here. Oh, hello. And the thing you want to happen is gonna be my alarm going off because it's 10 o'clock. No, it's farming. Farming is the first sign that civilization is in the air. Let's see what crops we've got on the field today. Oh, and let's take the speed down.
Are monuments really built by little green men from the sky?
Oh yes, and witness the witty banter of my plebs. So we've got wheat. We have barley, which is turned into beer. We have onions. And maybe, just maybe, oh yeah, we've got lettuce. Yeah. So, this is what your people eat. Barley, wheat, onions, and lettuce. Oh yeah. That's good eating there. But where are we going to store it all? How are our people going to be able to access it? How are our people going to be able to keep it until next season? Well, sir, that's where those things come in. Bakeries. I actually don't need that many. I only need one for this immediate area. That ought to do, yeah. Make some bricks. I don't know why these buildings don't require bricks. They certainly seem to be built of them, but no, seriously, let's have a good look at these. And at this new dude building his own house here. This is one thing I also kind of like about this game. It's a lot more primitive than Tropico, but it's really well built. And this was made like, not quite 20 years ago. I think like 2004. But you see people building their own houses, slowly but surely.
My orders say this goes up right here. I hope they got that right.
Most excellent.
Looks like it. Okay. Do you actually need a brickmaker in order to build these houses? I don't think so. No. Villagers come up and build them. Okay. That's what I thought, but... On the other hand, this bakery isn't gonna go up without a brick maker, because, as you can see, it requires bricks. Let's take a look at the family household of the pharaoh and his entourage. Yes, He is a man who has the power not only to rule, but also to clip through architectural pieces. And his courtiers, the people who work in his court, have the ability to go upstairs magically. It truly is. He truly is a god king, and all of his staff with him. Oh yes. This is why people worship the pharaoh. Unfortunately, I don't think the nobles are very pleased with me. Because as you can see, they can't get the stuff that they need. There are things that people need, and I just don't have any of them. What do people need, you may be wondering? Well, what they really need are the sorts of things that can only be made by shopkeepers. Things such as linen, baskets, mats, and pottery, as well as... I'm not going to list all these out for you, but well, not the way I just did there anyway. I just want to make sure of the resources that I had. Did I have some faience or some coal? Okay, so here's the thing. Among the other things that you need are things like cosmetics and jewelry, and those depend upon certain mineral deposits to be close to your city. I might not have those. Let's see. I'm looking for little black rocks. I'm not seeing any little black rocks, or little white rocks. Yes, because that is what my people do. They dress themselves in crystal meth. I don't know. I could swear I had chosen to build out here because there were some little black or white rocks, but I must be misremembering this. Ergo, oh, maybe we can get this guy to a better place. This poor outcast has lost his place in society, and he's looking for a new one. Okay. This seems to be going fairly well for the moment, though. Alright, but the luxury... Did Pharaoh die? This isn't good. I'm not sure. It's not clear to me that he did or not. One thing is clear, however. I need more bricks. Why do you need more bricks, you may ask? Why, in order to build mastabas. What on God's green earth is a mastaba, you may be asking? Okay, good. A mastaba, for the uninitiated, is a little brick tomb into which you can put people. More specifically, dead people. I feel I should probably specify that. And not just any people, because the only people that manage to go on to the afterlife are, of course, your nobles. Your nobles and your pharaoh. So you need to keep up on building the brick tombs. Now fortunately, you only need to build one brick tomb for each of these noblemen's houses. I need to not get off track, however, because these guys need other things as well. The things that I can provide them at this point, I think, are going to include sandals, sculpture, furniture, and I think perfume? might be a perfume bush around here somewhere. Oh well. I'll let them figure that out. There might be a henna or an oil plant around somewhere. I'll let them figure that out. Oh dear. Once I get that mastaba up for my pharaoh, I'm then going to build a priest's apartment and begin training new graduates. Immediately. Why do I need priests? Priests do all kinds of things. Most importantly, they protect my people from... well, actually, that might be their best description, actually. They protect their people. They protect them from the wrath of the gods. They protect their people from disease. And they protect their people from losing their souls and from the failure to keep them in the afterlife. Or something like that. Now, who's the patron of this city? This is important. Knowing who the patron of the city is important for reasons. Your people are going to want to make a cult no. Your people are going to want you to make a cult temple to the patron of the city, because they're going to want to worship at his or her temple more than anyone else. Now, why would you care about that, being a good Christian man and all that? Well, the reason is because, as the clock and the calendar say, it's 1500 years before the birth of Christ. So your people don't know about the saving message of Jesus. They're still under the rule of these horrible pagan gods, and so therefore, they haven't got a choice in the matter. It's either turn to these guys or die. Alright. Unfortunately, it does appear that my townhouses are empty because nobody's getting what they want. And that means I'm going to have quite a few fewer farmers than I previously had. That's not good. So we're going to increase the speed and hope to turn this situation around soon. Because otherwise it's going to get bad. It's going to get so bad. But yeah, if you have any suggestions, if you've ever played this game before, if there are any good city building games you'd like to recommend on one of these extracurricular streams, such as I have, hey, I'd be more than happy for suggestions. Love to hear what you'd like to see played and even try playing, man.
If you care.
I'm afraid one problem with this game in comparison with others in the city building series is, unfortunately, the dialogue comes when it pleases. Which means you miss a lot of witty banter because, well, you're just not close enough to hear it. Honestly.
Mom?
Witty banter like that. Yeah, sure. Ooh.
No. Hello, everyone.
Fortunately, we will get some. Yes, I know you're not happy, bro. Fortunately, we will get some new nobles eventually. But it Yeah, we just kinda gotta sail through before we get to that point.
You'd think these plants would still grow without me digging at them constantly, but what do I know?
Gotta make sure you keep on top of those weeds, my man. It's a bit difficult otherwise. Okay. Really, though, just bringing order to and once uninhabited place is something that I enjoy quite a bit. Okay, there's a reed over here. Let's see. Oh, and it's gone. It sunk just as I attacked it. I hope I didn't make its inhabitants swim to shore. That would be very unfortunate for them. Camera dive bombing them resulting in real Wait. Oh, no. Shoot. I gotta get rid of those. Dang it. Gonna be a few more vagrants this year, I'm afraid. Uh-oh. No. No. Get off of here. They'll become villagers before too long. Very unfortunate. But, hey, look at that. There's coal and faience on this side. So, the reason, though, that I chose to move off of that island and over here is because of this limestone. Limestone will be very useful, you might gather. What for? Why, for building pyramids, of course, as you might have noticed. I don't want to have to bury my pharaoh in a mastaba. It will come to that, unfortunately. At least for the first pharaoh. Nobles are coming soon, so I will soon be able to pass off the mastabas to them instead. But this is the beginning, and it's a beginning I quite like. Well, when I do it properly, of course. I, failed to do it properly this time. Somebody had said that it's possible to start Children of the Nile with 3 townhouses, and I just kind of wasn't seeing that because you need food first, and if you take away farmers from... Okay, so here's how you get shopkeepers so that people can have mats and reeds and cosmetics and all that. Everybody starts off either as a farmer or a servant. Or possibly a laborer or a soldier. Yeah. So everybody starts off as one of those. Yeah. And, excuse me. Your shopkeepers and your entertainers and your other middle-class peasants all come from your farming class. So you don't just have villagers who turn into craftsmen like shopkeepers. Your craftsmen have to come from the farmer class. So when you're just starting, you want to have as many farmers as you can so you can have as much food as you can. Okay, I think our next harvest is coming, so that means we should start training up people. Train up some graduates so that this priest isn't the only one doing things. The educated elite comes from these guys as well, so it's important to keep these guys happy too. I hope this has been somewhat coherent, but essentially the thing I'm going for whenever I play Pharaoh is a cohesive whole that kind of doesn't make sense unless it has the context of everything else. I mean, I feel like that's what I'm trying to explain whenever I try to explain anything. Something that only works when you fit all of the pieces together, and otherwise kind of just sounds like random gobbledygook. But that's kind of how life is. Life is very complicated. But when you fit it all together, it kind of works. It works at least about as well as you'd expect, anyway. There's just not much to do until you get your bricks together and until you attend to basic things. Like making sure you can bury your dang pharaoh. Now that we've attended to that, however, I feel comfortable making new mastabas for my nobles so that they don't complain when they try and bury their loved ones. Oh, that reminds me, I'm probably going to need a court of law sooner rather than later. Nobles tend to be a very contentious lot, especially when they've been robbed or when their wives commit adultery or something like that. Yeah, there's adultery in this game. Unfortunately, it's not graphic. Unfortunately? Probably fortunately. We won't discuss the issue any further. We won't discuss the issue any further. I regret bringing it up. Now I know you people are horrible. You won't let the topic of adultery in Children of the Nile go. You people are... What am I gonna do with you people? I can't wait until I have the bricks necessary to build a wall and to make the Nubians pay for it. Okay, that's enough of that. The dialogue in this game is so lame, though. I mean, it's just pedantic. It's trying to be funny, but it's not really trying. I mean, they're delivering it as if it's...
I'm always glad to see so many smiling faces.
Like, see that, right there. Obviously trying to be a comedian. Just needed some Groucho Marx glasses. Right there, and it would have been a comedy special, except the dialogue is lame. That one was okay. I'm actually that particular dialogue was pretty boring. Honestly, it was pretty prosaic, quite nice. Because usually they try and make puns or commentaries or references, kind of like me actually. And also like me, the jokes just don't land, unfortunately. Ah, shoot!
I have to say, I haven't heard my friends complain much recently.
Dang it.
Maybe.
You know, this kind of does feel like Oblivion NPC dialogue now that I think of it. What do you mean there are no What? Oh my gosh, I am an idiot. Is this just because I'm in front of the dang camera? Ah, jeez. I try and get rid of some freaking huts and I end up destroying half of my city on that account.
Most of my friends seem pretty happy lately, if you care.
That's good to know. Okay, no, I think we've reached a happy medium for the moment. Well, we've got a few shrines so that people can go worship. We did have a priest hut until I blew it up like an idiot. But we'll have another one soon. Damn, I'm an idiot. I don't know how or why I blew that thing up. Oh well. Usually my starts are not this messy, and I think it's because I'm mugging to the camera at the moment. I mean, you can see it. You can see these pretty pearly white yellow teeth glaring at you. Look like they're off of a dog or something. Oh yeah. Oh. I think it's a good thing that you cannot see my face.
That's about as good as it gets.
I think it's a good thing I can't see my face on OBS. Lord alone knows what I would try and do, trying to mug to the camera. I've never wanted to mug in the world, and even less now. I do have a camera, but... And I did actually try an experiment earlier with an avatar, but... I just don't think it will work. It might, but I'd have to pay $20 for the model I would like, and I just don't think it. I don't think it's the right idea, honestly. I will say though, Egypt is nice and warm.
I honestly think my commute gets a little worse each year.
My part of the world is not nice at the moment because it's like 10 degrees Fahrenheit. It's probably like a negative 3 or 4 degrees Celsius, I think. Completely unpleasant, anyway. What is going on? What? Okay. Okay, we have a priest again. He's teaching. Good, good. We need teachers. Let's get an apothecary up quick before they leave again.
I honestly think my commute gets a little worse each year.
And we'll have this guy... I said we'll have this guy provide health care. He'll provide health care at the apothecary, and... Shall we build a hospital too while we're at it? Yeah, I think that makes sense. Just plow that under a bit. Yes. Big, beautiful hospital. Right there. Speaking of which, let's do what we do and take a look at these lovely little buildings that we've got here. This is the apothecary. I don't know how you would know that as an Egyptian, but hey, I didn't grow up in Egyptian society, so what do I know? Probably by the jars on the side, that's my guess. That's how you know. Sorry. Yeah.
I was hoping to turn in early tonight.
See, that's attempting to be funny. That's not funny. Does this use the WASD key? It does. I didn't know if this used WASD or not. You know, WASD, in order to move left, right, up, and down. Well, let's go through our kingdom here
I am
and just...
so tired. I hope I don't have to sweep the place out when I get home.
Doesn't this feel like a Doomed mod or something? I must say, though, for the time, the graphics are pretty good. Let's follow this woman to the apothecary? To the apothecary. Yep. It does feel kind of like I'm in the middle of Half-Life or Doom or something when I'm pretending to be in first person. At least this works properly, unlike the Tropico camera. Really, this game is great if you want to do screenshots or cinematics because there's so much freedom of movement in the camera. I hardly realized it. This is actually really cool. Let's take a look around. Hello, young fella. A mat maker's child. Mat maker, make me a mat. Find me a spline, catch me a mat. I don't know. It's a quiet little shop, but it does. What are you making? Ah, let's have a look. An Egyptian seamster? Or seamstress? What are you doing?
I'll bet your mother could make good use of you around the house.
No way! I guess gathering stuff isn't all that bad after all.
That's kinda cute. Okay, I get it though. As you can see, he's in the middle of rushes. Oh, and here's another cool thing about Children of the Nile. There are articles about everything. There's even articles about the plants here. It's one of the things I like about Impressions games. Come on. Okay, come on. Oh, you could do that. Is my game calibrated right? I'm not entirely sure my game is as it should be. Huh. Let's try this again. Come on. Okay. Well, I thought it was working right. Why am I not able to click basic things? Give me just a second, if you will, please. Yes. Let's try once again. Something isn't working right with my mouse. Usually I'm able to click on that. That'll do, though. Okay. Because really, no, it's cool the amount of information that you can find in these games. There's a lot of interesting detail about the history of all of it. From... Excuse me a second. You don't need to hear me cough. Coughing is only good if it's about coffee. Of course, I've got rich, detailed articles about things that are crucial to your economy, like farmers here, or like your bakeries. And some of them even have history articles, like the one that I just linked from. Actually, something's weird with this here. Do you kind of see how some of the letters are clipped off? I wonder why that is. That probably has something to do with the issues that I'm having. That's very weird. Maybe that will fix it? Let's try that. No, that's not quite fixing it. But you have articles on that, and you also have articles like this one. They're just about the plant. These fibrous plants, which grow only in the Nile marshes, are the foundation of the important papyrus industry. Yeah, okay, no, that's great, that's great. Oh, but that's not the end of the articles that you can find in this game. No, sir. No, sir. There's also... Who doesn't like pomegranates? Not only are they a widely foraged food, hyperlink, but noblemen sometimes get pomegranate trees from nurseries where the townhouse grows. Now, why is foraged food highlighted? It's not like foraging. Foraging is not an important mechanic in the game, at least not for you. So why is it here? Let's find out. You will see primitive villagers getting by on whatever food nature provides, pomegranates, etc. This is cool, because this isn't something you need to worry about. This is just a mechanic of the game. This is just part of the life simulator that is Children of the Nile. Although your people won't happily admit it, peasant farmers, laborers, and servants are not above foraging to supplement their diets. And they'll return to their villager origins if they can't get grown food anymore, if they rely on pomegranates and other stuff. In fact, middle class? I mean, they don't seem that crass to me. They seem perfectly fine to me. Middle-class craftsmen, or their wives, entertainers, and shopkeepers, may hunt, fish, and gather wild food. And that is because they can't feed themselves through farming, or through getting their dole from the bakeries, or from noblemen hiring out their services in the case of entertainers. It's a cause of concern. Elite workers won't forage and would rather starve to death, rather than gather food for themselves. Oh, by the way, leisure. Entertainment, okay, never mind. There was another one, but I think I need to find a hippo in order to find that one. Ah, like this guy right here. If I can click on him. There we go. Let's read the article about the hippo. Crocodiles, hippos, and lions are dangerous animals. Noblemen and other elite citizens like to hunt them as a form of leisure, to the bemusement of more prudent people. So hippos literally exist as something for nobles to have fun fighting against. Let's look at this guy. Eating on the marshlands. Ain't he a beaut? And right here we have the giant ancient Egyptian hippo eating the marsh reeds. He also likes a taste of man flesh, which is why the ancient Egyptian noble so enjoys hunting this beast for prey. But honestly, if you just leave it alone, bugger won't bother you, you know. Eh? Okay, let's go back to the village. Probably deafen half of my audience, if there is one, for this kind of nonsense. I hope there's not an audience for this. Okay, where are we at? Okay, we have an apothecary. Priest apartment's still not built, probably because the speed is so low. That's on me. And I've reached age 10. Hooray! Yay, I'm 10 years old, and in 10 years I'm going to need a tomb rather badly. On the bright side, until that point, I will at least be able to take care of my health, hopefully. Okay. Now this is all great and all. It's great that I've got this basically functional society working. That's fantastic and all that. But I need to do something else. This is not enough. Because of course, as you can see, our goals are regaining trade with all of these cities here. How do you do that? Well, step 1 in the process was build all this. Get a basically functioning society together that can provide its needs. That's point number one. That's really important. We have done that. Excellent. Next. The next thing we need to do is to increase our prestige. And it's very difficult to do that without bricks. So we're going to need lots of bricks, but in order to get bricks, we need brick makers. Brick makers require food from bakeries. Food from bakeries is not going to come in large enough quantities without somebody to collect taxes. So let's do that. Now, I just want to check an article here briefly. Scribes monitor fields. All scribes are more efficient with papyrus but don't need it per se. Okay. That's good to know. That's extremely good to know. So I'll build a bakery over here. And yeah, there's rushes over here that can be not Rush Limbaugh's. We will not speak any more of him. Suffice to say that the reference is not a thing, thank goodness. What we will do, however, is make a couple of more brick makers, because we're going to need bricks. We're going to need bricks galore in order to get our prestige up. Prestige is in this tab over here. What is the palace complaining about? Shut up. Getting prestige up is necessary to get more educated workers, as you see there. Educated workers are needed to produce priests, scribes, overseers, and commanders. The most important of which for our purposes are priests, who tend to healthcare, tend to temples, of course, and tend to schools, among many other things. Overseers can build monuments like pyramids, and things that require building material other than bricks. Fortunately, there are some monuments that we can build even without bricks. Even without statues, stelae, or limestone, rather. There are a few things that I can build with bricks alone. My, if only my sister knew about these, maybe she would know. She could gain some prestige with her dog brick. If only she knew. Oh well. Among these things are the mastabas, which I mentioned before. Mastabas provide a little prestige, and they keep your nobles happy. Unless, of course, they're not getting entertainment. That's a problem. That's what that harp there means, entertainment. That is security, that's... Why is this so... Why is this so cockeyed? Okay, for some reason my setup is cockeyed for some reason. I'm gonna need to fix this. Maybe I should set this guy to provide all social services too. He probably could help the other guy take some of the load off, I imagine. I don't know what's going on, man. What I can tell you is this. I do need to build an entertainer. Entertainers are necessary for the nobility to, while their lives away. As the elite are wont to do. And so that it doesn't look totally weird, because if I build paths right up against this plaza I built, they look like that, which is really gross, right? I'm going to build rows of houses a bit back, like that. I think that makes sense, don't you? Oh, that reminds me. No, okay. Before I destroy something else,
I'm all for it.
Why has that never been opened? Okay, mastabas being built. Excellent. Mastabas are going to be really important. Good. Mastabas will help keep nobles happy. And it will increase... And mastabas also increase the level of their townhouses. You'll notice that all of these are small estates at the moment. When they get more amenities, such as entertainers, they will increase their estates and therefore the amount of farms that we can have. Excuse me. Let's see. I would not usually build mastabas all the way back here, but getting spooked at the fact that my nobles were leaving kinda just put me in a mood where I just want to cover my butt. Cover my buttocks. So it only makes sense to me to build mastabas, build these little brick tombs as quickly as possible, and that means just tack them onto the back of my estate. Away from the river, away from where they could get flooded and become a problem. Because Bro don't need more problems in his life. You know what I mean? Of course you do. Okay, we need a pottery shop. You are going to make pottery at your shop. Please. Common wares you're having a problem with. Why are you having problems with... Okay, you are having problems with ISIS. I swear that's not a joke. ISIS was literally a pagan goddess before any politics involved in the 2015s or whatever, or even a thing. Again, look at the time clock down here. It's 1563. Nobody cares about this sort of thing. Problems and solutions. We don't need to attend to this right now, but I might have fun with that later. Going on though, it appears everybody is having problems finding wares of any kind. I don't get that. They shouldn't be.
Maybe one night.
I've got like 2 different rows of commoners' shops. There's no reason they shouldn't be getting all of the amenities they need, all of the material needs that they require. This is very strange. There's only so much you can do.
Your prestige is rising.
Fortunately, however, it seems my efforts are paying off. I can now get another priest. Or I can get an overseer, a commander, or another scribe, but really I think a priest to attend to the gods is the thing to get. It seems to me. Maybe not right there. I think, yes. We'll have this guy tend the gods from there. It's important to tend to the gods, not so much because the gods can punish you in this game. They kinda really can't do anything to you. But your people can if they can't worship the gods they want to. So you gotta make sure that you have staffed temples for everybody to meet their needs. Actually, instead of Toth, we'll set it to happy. Because everybody wants to be happy. Actually, no. The reason you want Happy is because he's the pagan deity of the river. And whenever the inundation is low or high or way too high, everybody wants to go to the temple of Happy. So really, it's a psychological balm for your people who, again, they have no concept of salvation or any of that. They have no concept of their eternal soul, most of them. The only ones who really have a concept of an eternal soul are the spoiled rich people. Universal salvation is just not a thing on their minds. They're just trying to carry forward their lives, man. Okay, plan change. Change of plan. That's a nobles only. This is for Pharaoh, because it looks different. And different things have to go to Pharaoh, because Pharaoh is more differenter than the rest of your... Speaking of different looking things, compare and contrast, if you will. Oh. Here is Happy, by the way. Want to read an article about it? Or her? Or it? Maybe. Maybe you do, but if you want to, we're gonna read it through here. Yeah, why not? Afterlife, army, but... Ooh. Gods. The river god, known from prehistoric times. That's why he's so important. The name of the Nile itself was the Hop. Lord of fishes and birds of the marshes, provided these animals along with the very river that sustained Egypt. As a fertility god, Hapi was portrayed androgynously as a blue or green figure, with a fat belly and a woman's breasts, and wore a false beard, and came to Egypt each year with the flood waters. People greeted him with sacrifices, offerings, and amulets. At sacred places along the Nile, no temples were dedicated specifically, but he was so universally revered, at least equal to the sun god, that even Akhenaten could not banish his worship. Interesting. Akhenaten is an interesting case, by the way. If you've never heard of Akhenaten, I highly recommend the Star Quest production network, Jimmy Akin's Mysterious World. Jimmy Akin, he's a well-educated gentleman. Also happens to be a Catholic. He's talked about many mysterious and interesting things, including the heretic pharaoh Akhenaten, who is an interesting character in his own. I mean, some of the people whom Jimmy Akin talks about are just odd characters, just weird characters who have very strange stories. He's talked about Dyatlov Pass, which was an incident where about 9 Russian students go into a pass out in the middle of Russia and run out of a tent and end up stripping off their clothes and dying and falling down cliffs and things like that. Just in the middle of winter. There's no reason to do that, but they do it, and nobody can figure out why. Jimmy and his co-host, Dom Bettinelli, they talk about the topic of the day, and they make it interesting. They ask interesting questions about why was it like this? Has anybody figured out any possible reasons? Okay, look, they did a really good episode about a supposed, what do they call it again? The planet Vulcan. It was about a planet that doesn't really exist, but that made sense for existing. It made sense of something, a question.
Things that will last forever.
Aw, Mom.
Anyway, it's a really good show. I highly recommend checking it Jimmy Akin's Mysterious World. Definitely a good show. Anyway. Okay, but we've got brick makers. We've got bricks coming in. We've got food coming in. What are we gonna do with all this? Well, aside from our nice, neat row of shrines here... What do you mean? I thought I had prestige. To get our prestige up, we're going to build some statues. Statues provide a bit of prestige. And the small Sphinx statue is easy enough to build with just bricks. It only requires 75 of them. We've got 71, which is a number, but it's enough. What's the name of that film? Shep's Scary. Okay, I thought it said Shakespeare there. Am I the only one? I hope not. Hope I'm not the only American or Englishman who thought that. This house, hopefully, will be inhabited by a priest sooner rather than later.
Did your parents even try to teach you proper behavior?
Well, while they get those statues sorted and while I wait for my prestige to rise, I'm gonna... this camera is not always the easiest or the most intuitive to use, but let's just take a look at our shrine area a bit. Maybe I should invert the controls. Actually, yes. I should definitely invert the controls because this is kind of cuckoo. Give me a second here. Let's go ahead and invert that and see if that fixes things. Oh, yeah, that's better. Yes. Oh, that's much better.
I guess you can never have too much clay.
You're telling me?
But yes, this is what you see when you go into a temple. Yes, you see it fade out of existence. What speed is it playing up? 150? How about 1? 1 already looks too fast, don't you think? I know I do. I've never taken a good look at the servants'
I was your
shop.
age once. You'll outgrow it.
Where the dead shall rise no more. I actually quite like this. Let's take a look at one of the nobles' houses. That poor servant. At least he can live, though. Flags. Let's see here.
What an honor to carry the god.
The difference between my house and theirs at the moment is pretty much just that mine is a bit larger. But that will fade away soon enough too. Okay. This small Sphinx statue is providing a modest amount of prestige. I think one more of these. Oh, and a funeral among the elite. Can't wait for that to grow a bit larger. Could not cannot go hunting. Presumably because no hunting equipment. That's your problem, bud. Man, I've been petering away a lot of time here. But without prestige, I kind of can't do anything. I mean, I could. Actually, let's take a look. Another way that I can raise prestige is by going on expeditions. So, yeah, actually, let's do this. What would be good? They want that. They want a lot of food, which I cannot yet provide. Ed Fu will provide me with tin if I give them bread. I don't make enough bread in order to do that. You know, you gotta make bread, man. It's the only way to get by in this world is making bread. It's a dang shame. Except, actually, yes, that is how you make a living in this game, is with bread. Well, since everybody wants bread, or things that I can't or won't provide at this point, I think an expedition is the best way to get a little bit of prestige. We'll see how that turns out in a few months. While my farmers work the soil. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Your prestige is rising.
Good. Prestige is rising. The priest's apartment over there will be occupied soon.
Schooling has long been my father's dream for me.
Everything will be fine.
It's all coming together. Despite what it looks like, I am actually enjoying this game, and I don't know if relaxing is the right word, but enjoyment is definitely something I'm getting out of it.
I wonder who decided that bricks should always be the same size. Why aren't there any other shapes?
Let's see. That might be a source of prestige. Obelisks might be too, however. Actually, obelisks would, because I could use obelisks to make propaganda. Is everybody getting what they need? Mostly. My screen problems are getting worse, I think. Oh well.
With the entertainers this excited, your next piece will be memorable.
Who did you want to worship, friend? I'm trying to find out, but I can't seem to get it. More shrines. Just more shrines. Or rather, more priests to tend to shrines. Of which we have one, as it were. Reading his scroll before Patan. Sounds like the kind of thing you'd say when you're spitting. Handsome fella, anyway. And from what I've seen of other depictions of him, that seems accurate. Amun, the Ram. Hazor. Now, am I gonna pray to any of these? Hell no. I'm above that. But then, I have 3,000 years of foresight over these guys, so I'm not holding it against them. They don't know any better. I could tell them, but I don't have the means to communicate that. I wonder... Do you think they would understand if I don't think this will work. I wonder... I don't think they will get the message. But I can at least take my frustrations out on the terrain. Yes, Jeb. Believe in Jeb. Jeb Bush 2020... No, we're not doing that. I have nothing to say to anyone about anybody's politicians. Unless it's in a meme. I swear, my mouse is completely off and I don't know why. Something always seems to go wrong. They'd better pay attention to this. I think they'll pay attention to this. Don't you? Oh yes, I'm sure they'll get that message. Yes. That'll totally make sense to them. You don't think so? No? You don't think they read English? Ah, well, it was a nice thought anyway. Well, since that isn't going to work, I'm not gonna call it a night. Again, I can work with these people wherever they be. They may not be able to read English, but that doesn't mean that they're useless. Not by any means. But I am gonna leave that there. Whatever, kill a little time. At least they pay their taxes. I'm very thankful for that. Okay. Seriously, though, let's get our prestige up so that we can do great things, okay? We'll build a wall to start with. They're probably wondering what I'm doing. I say we do something useful for them, rather than ponying about in the desert. We'll get to that in a second. Okay. So we've got that. Let's also get some nice things. Let's get some nice things for our merchants. Or rather, for our, townhouses. And since we've got some money forward, let's go ahead and let a few more luxury shopkeepers come forward. Maybe even some common ones too. And I'll let them pick whatever they want to make. we'll experiment with this new weird idea called the free market. Sounds very strange to me. I don't think we're smart enough to make it work, but what do I know? I'm just a god king. What do I know? And I think it is finally time to upgrade the palace somewise. Gamgee. No point in building a temple yet, because I would need statues to make that useful. But what I will do is build a merchant center by evicting some of these unlawfully registered peasants. Or rather, villagers. I just had it, man. I just had it.
This year's styles look just like last year. Again.
Merchant center. Yes. I'll build a merchant center so that people can bring nice shiny goods to my city. Yes, I think that will do nicely. I might also build a papyrus maker as well, just so that I can get papyrus together. Papyrus which will be useful for making other expeditions. Gonna make a couple of bricklayers too, just so that I'm not pouncing about all day waiting for all of these sexy government buildings to get built. Oh, I already have a brickyard here. May as well destroy them. I don't need that. Okay. Everybody satisfied? Everybody happy? Good. I'm very pleased at that fact.
You'd never come home to Muslims sitting around in a dirty loincloth and drinking beer.
Sitting around in a loincloth drinking beer. I don't know. I think the Pharaoh might do that. From the comfort of his walled and comfortable residence. Oh yes, he might do that. Since it no longer looks like it's on the wrong side of the merchant track, perhaps. Wrong side of the tracks. Anyway. Since I have the bricks,
I'm looking
I'm gonna
forward
build
to a quiet evening at home.
I'm gonna build a granary. Oh, and you know what else I'm gonna build? My maximum farms have gone up, so I'm gonna get some more farmers up and going. Where, though? Because apparently the slope of this ground is too severe to put buildings on. That's just silly. Yeah, geesh. Fine. You'll go up here on the plateau. Nyeh. Lazy Sun Tzu. Lazy Sun Tzus. Yeah. Because we're making that reference again. Oh wait. I haven't uploaded my video on Emperor Rise of the Middle Kingdom yet. To be coming. On my YouTube channel. Oh, you didn't know I had a YouTube channel. Yes, it's the same name as is in the upper left corner. Yes, Badger Lord Patrick. Yes, sir. You can find it on YouTube. You can find me on Twitch. I am around. Look for me. I am making good content. I have a series that I will be making about games that were elemental in my childhood and my growing up in.
Your prestige is rising.
Things that have informed the way I play and why I play and what I play. So if you're curious about the thought that is behind why I do what I do, at least when I'm making my channel videos, I tend to play this way anyway. But if you're curious, the videos will give an idea of my thought process. At least when I'm trying to present a thought process. Anyway. We got a couple of papyrus mills up. But a couple ain't gonna do it. No, you need quite a few. In Egypt, you need a lot of people doing a lot of everything. Otherwise, you're gonna be waiting until 3 funerals have passed before you get anything done. No, we can't have that. Therefore, in order to get anything done, you gotta have lots of people. This isn't one of these pay-to-win sorts of games that you play on your phones, man. No, you actually have to have skill. You gotta have resource. You gotta have the ability to play the game. You can't buy your way to win. Imagine that. A game that is older and better because you can't pay to win. Oh yes, now that is my idea of a good game. A game that requires skill. So unfortunately my people seem kind of befuddled by why I wasted time riding all this in the desert, so instead of wasting my time trying to explain what an English letter is, because they don't care what English is, they just want to get on with their lives, I'm just gonna build around it. I'm gonna build around... I worked hard on this, so I'm not destroying it, dang it. But I also, I don't think the whole evangelization thing is working with these guys, so, yeah, we're just gonna leave this for future generations to worry about. Wonder what the archaeologists are gonna say when they see this in the desert, What was his name again? Budge. I think it was Budge. Professor Budge, eat your heart out. All you little Victorian Egyptologists, eat your bloody heart out. Oh, that's gonna be good. That's gonna drive my people absolutely insane. You watch. My people just cannot comprehend an extreme flood. Maybe I don't need an exchange, actually. Since that's just gonna dig into my taxes anyway.
I feel like I've been working on the same piece forever.
That is a mechanic which hasn't come into play in this game. This, the floodwaters wiping away certain buildings in your city. That does come up in some campaigns. panes, I might show you where that might occur. Let's see. I don't think this is a city with any low-lying land like that. Land that can get flooded like that. Unless... yeah, someplace... okay, yeah, you see that? You see kind of this little square around it? That's an indication. A little yellow or orange square in the middle of the green shows you that this can be flooded. It can be destroyed. So don't build there, unless you want to rebuild it again later. Which I highly don't recommend, especially not if it requires bricks to build. Alright, my people are more or less happy. But I'm still starving for bricks, man. I still need more bricks. There's gotta be more bricks, man. There's gotta be bricks. Where are the bricks? We need bricks. Or do we? Maybe we don't. I actually don't think we need bricks for the simple reason that... oh no, I'm wrong. Oh, we need bricks. We need bricks. We need the bricks. We need all the bricks. We need all the bricks. You can't see what I'm doing. Why am I clinging onto my microphone? You can't see that. That's just silly. Anyway, there are many potential things I could do. There are many things I've done already. I think the thing to do is let's get our prestige up with some pyramids and some mastabas. Now, in case you didn't notice, I jumped from small mastabas straight into large mastabas. Why would I do that? Well, because I don't want to bury my pharaoh in a small mastaba, because that would be pathetic. So I'm gonna build a large mastaba all the way out there. Right in the middle of the J of the Jesus saves. Yes, that seems perfectly appropriate to me. And if you don't like it, meh. Okay, granary up. Improving the palace also provides prestige, and improving prestige means I can get more people. More elite educateds. The next educated man that I'm gonna want is gonna be... I'm just kind of wandering around because I'm not thinking very clearly. I'm going to want an overseer. And I'm gonna want to place him, as well as his entourage of laborers, over here. A bakery right here. It's planting season, so I should probably wait, but I can afford to make a few common shopkeepers over here. Yes. And I will want him in order to... before I do that, let's make that look a little pretty. Now I'm gonna want him so that I can build paths and roads, of course, but also I will want those guys so that all the way over here they can procure me limestone. Yes. Limestone so that I can build pyramids. Because most of us only provide so much prestige. But a nice, juicy pyramid, oh, that's what all the great dictators go for these days. I usually don't do pyramids because they require two types of limestone. They require this stuff, fine limestone, as well as your generic limestone. The upkeep looks a little high, but entirely manageable. Taxes are going mostly good for the moment. Oh, by the way, that does remind me, I actually probably should move my brick layers over a bit. Or at least build a couple of more of them. Actually, I probably will need brick layers over here so that I can build more lesser guardian sphinxes. Oh yeah. A city not built on lesser guardian sphinxes is a city doomed to fail. That's my philosophy anyway. Prestige is rising. When prestige rises, you get more educated workers. I think I've said that already. Gonna need more mastabas. I almost would like to just play this without commentary. If any of you would like to just see me play this without commentary, I would love to do that. Just let me know, though. But I do want to talk, because, you know, I know people like to talk. I get that. I get that, and I want to provide an environment where people can...
Oh, it's no big deal. At least I don't need government bricks.
If you want to talk, I don't mind. But honestly, just building is quite cathartic enough for me. It may not be for you, but I get something good out of doing this. At least it certainly seems good to me. Harvest coming in, though. People are worshipping. Not enough, but they are worshipping. Couldn't worship bust. I wonder where the origin of the word bastard came from. Does it have anything to do with the goddess Bast, I wonder? Cat goddess? Wouldn't surprise me at all. I'll put up a couple of more shrines. Maybe that will get some people less distracted. I don't know. I hope so. But anyway, yeah, if you want to engage, I am looking at the chat. I am looking for people, and I am here. I am not a robot. Part of me wishes he was. I don't know what part of me that is, though. I give up. Yeah, the interface is just working weird tonight. Shrine's going up, though. How's that large mastaba coming? It's slowly... I don't know if anybody's played, what is it that I was playing? Animal Crossing Pocket Camp? I've been enjoying that lately. Probably a bit too much, honestly. I mean, you know how mobile games tend to be. You tend to be on them for way longer than you intended, and it feels like only a few minutes have passed, but really you've lost a whole hour of your morning, and you're never ever going to get that back, even though you did get a pretty nice piece of furniture out of it. I still haven't run into Anka yet, but I look forward to that. Anka is one of the more famous NPCs from, one of the more famous animals from Animal Crossing. Because of her, well, very distinct style.
We are fortunate to live in the world's greatest city.
Aw, thanks, man. I appreciate that vote of confidence. I wish it were the world's greatest city, but thank you for making me feel like it might be. Aww. You know, with all this food that I've got sitting around, I think now is a good time for a religious festival. Now, the reason I prefer religious festivals instead of just secular ones is not only because I am a religious person who understands people need to worship and should worship God insofar as they know Him, but also because it takes away their dissatisfaction, of which there is a great deal when it comes to worship. And it only costs 466 food. I got 2,000 to work with. As long as I got 3/4 of my food left over, I'm sitting pretty well. So yeah. You know what? Flood's coming. Soon. Or not. Well, I hope that religious festival helps with next year's inundation. Oh, that's not good. Gonna be a lot of people looking for pomegranates later, as we discussed previously. A lot of people foraging. Hopefully none of them revert to being villagers. Ah, well. At least we collected all the taxes we needed, so my civil servants won't starve. Yeah, so, yeah. Egyptian society is interesting, at least in this game, because everybody who's not a noble, a farmer, a servant, a shopkeeper, or an entertainer is a civil servant, essentially. I mean, and look at all this. Look at all this. These are all people employed by the government, and only by the government. It's real weird, but real cool. But societies work differently in different places. Egypt was... It's funny how we take such an interest in Egypt, because Egypt was really probably one of the most autocratic kingdoms in the world, especially in Caesar's time, where pretty much everything was dictated by the policy from on high in, I believe it was Thebes, or that might have been the Old and Middle and New Kingdoms, right? I think post-Ptolemaic Egypt was ruled from Alexandria. Yeah, that was it. So this is all pre-Alexandrian Egyptian stuff going on at the moment. Alexander the Great wouldn't come until about, it was like what, 200 BC? 200 BC or so, ish. Then things changed
Watch
a
your
lot.
step, please.
But for now, we just have our... Oh yeah, and things would get really interesting then, because that would, of course, introduce the Greek gods, not to mention the Jews, who I don't think are around at this time either. There's a supposition that the pharaoh around the time of Ramses II. So yeah, Pharaoh Ramses II might have been the pharaoh during the Exodus, apparently. I don't know, though. I'm no professional Egyptologist, so... I just take an interest. Not a very good interest, especially not when I'm running on the fumes of energy that today's been a very... Before I get off tonight, I do want you to know that half of the reason I'm doing this is because I have just enough energy from what has been kind of an exhausting day. But I do want to get in the habit of doing this, of casting at other times. So that I can make myself more available to you, my audience. I've been thinking this over, and I don't think I want to make a job out of this, like so many of my compatriots do. Not everybody I know makes a job out of doing Twitch streaming. I mean, it'd be nice, but I'm actually sitting comfortably, but... This is also kind of an attempt on my part to regulate my own computer usage.
The luxury shopkeeper seemed cheerful lately.
Is that a good thing? A bad thing? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing that they're cheerful lately? Tell me. Tell me. Should they be happy? Tell me. Tell me. Well, these guys are happy. You can tell this guy's having a radical old time because he's rocking out. So's this guy, too. Look at that. That's a face only a mother could love. The priest is having a good day. Everybody's having a good day.
Keep up your good work. Everybody's contribution matters.
I suppose having a festival now rather than planting a few meager crops is probably a good idea. All right. Good, we have a mastaba, finally. This one is for Pharaoh. This one is... We'll make that one for nobles too. And I'm going to make that... Aha, and these have finally evolved into their final form. Which means, if I'm not mistaken... Yeah. Oh, wait, well, no, I've already built enough forms. Derp. Well then. That leaves only one thing to do. Build another noble's hut. Yes. Another's noble's hut. Another's noble's hut. Not my noble's hut,
Most of my friends seem pretty happy lately, if you care.
I don't know.
You don't know if you care about your friends being happy lately? These people are a riot and a half just waiting to happen. Well, I'll tell you what, I feel pretty satisfied with this. This has been a pretty decent run, all things considered, considering the fact that I've been attempting to dialogue in something that I usually just shut up about and just build and go to town. Before I get off for tonight, though, I do want to at least...
Say this goes up right here. I hope they got that right.
I can mine things? Alright, let's mine some stuff. Okay, yeah, we'll leave off on that note then, I guess. We'll mine some stuff. Oh, I like this. Maybe I should really get my prestige up. But before I end this particular round for the night, because it's really getting to be that time. It's 9 minutes till we've gone on 2 hours, and I don't want to keep you up that late. Let's give it its proper name. I want to at least show you where I've come from this point. What I had to do in order to get to this point. Let me show you some of the other cities that I had to work on beforehand. Here is Nile, one of the first cities that I built, for whom the task was, if it will load, oh. Yeah, I actually did succeed, which is why I saved it. But let me show you what I had to do in order to get to this point. Oh, I see. I can't show you the objectives anymore. That's alright. I'll just show you the city instead. So, okay, that's not the city with which I won. This is the city. Whoa, look at this. Ain't that a nice... I didn't even upgrade it all the way, man. Because I didn't make enough bricks, because I did this years ago. I built this city years ago. This is just the first terrace, but it goes all the way down. Look at it, man. Temple not dedicated to any deity, because I didn't know or didn't care how to get stone statues quarried. On the other hand, I was able to make some stele right next to this scribe's house. Lots of stele. Plenty of stele.
I wonder who decided that bricks should always be the same size.
Due to the lack of space to build upon on the coast, how fast is this thing going? Let's slow it down. Due to the lack of space, I had to get a little creative with my city designs here. But it turned out alright in the end, I think. Saplings for the rich. Is that not serene? Let's take it from the boat on the water. Yes. From the boat on the water. Okay, there. I'm clipping into the drain like I'm in Black Mesa or something. Good heavens. This is the heart of it. This one's a lot more decorated than my previous city. I mean, look at it. Look at these gardens. I don't know what a best planter is, except that it's that. Whatever that thing is. That is a best statue. Doesn't look like a best to me, but best means Bessie, so... A little black man is not my idea of a Bessie. Could be a large black woman, though, but... Anyway. That hardly matters. You know what does matter, though? This necropolis. Look at all this. Pharaohs buried here and there and yonder. Oh, yeah. This is a very prestigious area. Full of nothing but good dead corpses. So that's one thing my city has managed to do. My city has managed to build an army, which, I think at one point I was going to try and siege this area. I don't think I ever did that because I never did get enough bricks because I didn't realize you needed to build like 3,000 brick makers in order to do that. Ugh. There was so much that I could have done on this map that I didn't do. I might go back and do it, because I can. But this is the first big capital city that I ever did. And darn it, it looks good. It looks really good. It was really well put together. Despite everything. Did I just move my screen by accident? I sincerely apologize if I moved my screen by accident. That was not intentional. The resource here is a basalt quarry. The reason this basalt quarry is not providing statues is because barges cannot transport things in the way that I was hoping they could. From what I understand, that's a bug. Aside from that, however, this city works pretty well. Aside from the fact that my temple will never have a statue in it, my city works fine. And it looks lovely. Thank you very much for joining me in my Egyptian corner of my kingdom, in the Kingdom of 1,000 Cities here. It's been a lovely night. We will leave you from the temple which was supposed to be dedicated to Isis. I presume she is the patron of this city, but I don't care so much. We will go down to the temple and leave you for the night. And pray that these people eventually come to know better and greater gods. Or rather, the god, which is above all gods. Oh well, maybe in another video game. Peace, dudes. Love y'all. Have a great night.